You feeling good about it?
Feels natural.
It does. That's what I was going to say, because I've watched enough of your stuff.
Oh, you've been
researching. I've been researching. Well, I got to do a little bit of research, right? But I mean, all this is natural to you. You're good with the camera in front of you.
My wife is better. I prefer live audience, but
okay. So you prefer live,
like 5,000 people.
Yeah.
Versus a lens. Like if I were looking directly into the lens, acting for it, I would look awkward.
Well, it'd probably look awkward for all of us that you were like trying to have a relationship with the lens. Hey guys, this is an awesome episode. It's going to be great. I already know how it's getting started. So Wes Hamiter stops by. This is the 76th episode of the Bob Mortgage Jam Session.
The Bob Mortgage Jam Session.
76.
Infamous, 76.
You feel good about 76?
I do.
Brandon, you feel like 76 is going to rock it?
Dude, I'm already enjoying the heck out of it right now.
Right. It was all the pre-roll that we didn't go live with.
My new favorite number.
76?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
start,
like that.
like placing illegal bets on the 76ers. And
oh, the 76ers. Wow, dude.
Is that still a team? Is that basketball?
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I got the Mavericks.
They're probably they haven't been called that. For
and I'm
a
so
decade.
happy that the Lakers are like sucking right now, because I'm not a big fan of LeBron James anyway.
Yeah, he's got it all.
Yeah. I want my.
I'm a Dwayne Wade guy.
Oh, Dwayne Wade. So you've been not doing well for a long time.
Mm-mm.
Ever since Dirk Nowitzki, like.
Yeah, I know nothing about sports.
it.
I'm just like regurgitating stuff I've read somewhere.
Alexa off. All right, now we can actually get going. So somebody actually listened to me, because you haven't all morning. So just kind of what we're doing. So hey, look. So this the point of this jam session. So we got a lot of cameras rolling. You got yours right there. Shout out to all of Wes's peeps.
Hello, friends.
They know
and
who
family.
you are. We're going to try to find something that they don't know. But then there's a lot of other cameras here where people just don't know a lot about you. And the objective is to get your brand recognized, to get people to know as much as they can about you, what you do, why you do it, and who you do it for, right? Mm-hmm. So just from a 30,000 foot view, not everything, just really, who are you?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Soul searching time.
We go deep quick.
Who am I? Well, I'm passionate about people. That's the favorite part of my job. So whenever I'm stuck behind a screen or some sort of technology or platform I'm having to learn, that's the worst day ever.
Worst day for you.
Just terrible. I need to have an empire and harem like you.
Right.
And it's coming, so I can just take care of this, But no, I love connecting with people. I'm always interested and fascinated by their story. Why are they the way they are?
Yep.
Where they come from, just anybody. I mean, the valet guy, I'm striking up a conversation. My wife's kind of like, I'm cold. Come on, let's get in the car. And I'm talking to him about what he's studying at college. Hold on, baby. And yeah, I love people. And so first couple years in real estate were pretty difficult. A lot of new things to learn while trying to produce. But then once I hit that stride and rhythm, I really was able to enjoy connecting with people, helping them find a home, sell a home, and kind of bring down the emotional cliffhanger that a lot of people find themselves on, to just make it a little more easy feeling.
People
and that's nice.
People love stories, right? So the ability to have a really good conversation with somebody and be able to tell your story or understand their story and be able to draw it out of them is a skill set.
Right.
I mean, it's what connects people. Now, do you find yourself like a connector? Do people come to you and say, hey Wes, do you know somebody that does this? Or hey, can you help me with that? And you're really kind of directing people?
That's starting to evolve. And I've actually noticed, it's funny you mentioned that, I've noticed that over the last couple of months of that skill it's starting to flourish, maybe by itself organically, but also through giving it attention, of being a person who, if I don't know him or her, if I'm not that person myself, can I pick up the phone and call somebody? And that's what a lot of being an agent is. It's like, here's something we need, and being able to find the solution.
Right.
The solution finder.
The solution finder, right? And the connector, there's a great book, if you haven't read it, it's called The Go-Giver.
Read it.
Okay. It's all about the connector, right? And how important that quality, that trait is, because you are about giving. Right, and to be a great communicator, to be a great communicator, to be focused on giving and helping other people, I think that just starts to organically come, which is great that you're starting to see that happen, because that would tell me you're on the right path because you are listening, you're asking questions, and then you're helping people. And then it's just finding the balance of saying I'm helping you without any expectation of return, or I'm helping you because I'm expecting something back.
Yeah, big difference.
Huge difference. And the person on the other end of the phone, the other end of that conversation in person can tell.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, and
whether they know or not.
Then they don't ask.
Right.
They don't ask, hey, Wes, do you know this person that can help me? They stop asking. So.
Well, and when I said it was difficult starting out, because you need to close deals, you need money. And so, you want to serve the person, but on the other side of your brain, you're thinking about, I need this to close, and you try to start manhandling it. And then that's when, you get stressed or anxiety because you're thinking about an outcome rather than just serving the person.
Absolutely.
And so when you become outcome-oriented or like results-oriented, and we have to be that way to an extent, but
look, you have
trying to control it out of my personal motives versus I'm a servant to you. Once I finally just let go and said, if it's going to fall apart, it will.
Yep.
And I will be good with that. Then it was like, okay.
Dude,
we can do this.
You're so smart in taking that approach. And it took me a long time because, I've been doing this for 22 years and I couldn't say it started out that way. I mean, it was outcome driven.
Well, and our industry it's like, what are you doing? What are you producing?
Right. What are you producing? Because that's how you make the money and that's how you keep, you keep surviving in this industry that has, last check just in the DFW area, 60,000 plus licensed agents, right? I mean, you have to be outcome focused because you're not going to survive, right?
But that shouldn't be your driver.
Absolutely. And so that took me time. And once I started to figure out that I couldn't control outcome,
you can't.
Right? My life changed. My stress level went down. My happiness improved because then all I got to focus on was the process that I was going through. Because if I focus on the process, which is something I can control, right? I can control the process
how well
of
you do.
the feel, the experience, the connecting of the dots, the manufacturing line, all that stuff. Outcomes should be
Speaking my language,
there.
I want to hug, man.
Right? The outcome should be there. Right? If
absolutely.
If the person wants to continue to move down that assembly line, right? And so it's good to see that you've kind of started to make that shift mentally. Now, you talk about like building a team and things like that. That's a big step for you.
Yeah.
So kind of where are you? Well, I guess let's start off. So like, how long have you been in real estate?
I think I'm 5.5 years or so.
Okay.
And when I started, people were like, 3 to 5 years, you need to give it 3 to 5 years. And I'm like, I'm dying here. Before you hit your stride and it really starts feeling greased and things are rolling. I'm just, if you're in year 1 or 2 and you're just feeling like this, 3 to 5 years, oh my God. But one day at a time, and it goes by, and so I'm at that marker, and about year 3, it started to roll because that's when I had the shift of serve the client. And I was trying to mimic different people and their styles because completely new industry. I'm an entrepreneur, I have a company, and so I've been engaged with people my entire life, but you have the loud agent who they're, woo, 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 look at me. The more quiet, organized, and just very methodical. And so I'm looking at different people trying, should I be like them or them? And you think of the stereotypical agent or whatever. And so let me be that. So the way I was dressing, the way I was trying to just strut and talk and just BS my way through stuff, like this is how it's done. And it felt very uncomfortable. And, fake it till you make it, there's a truth to that. But I felt like I wasn't being true to myself, and it just felt like it was all real fake. And so I felt very uncomfortable in my own skin. And somehow that probably transferred over into the deals. And once I said, I got to be me.
Screw it, I'm going to be me.
I don't wear pleats. I wear, pink pants.
Pink pants.
Right.
Which, by the way, we got to have a style vote. I mean, he's gonna win because
it's a pink pants
today.
day.
I went pretty traditional. I did. I went pretty traditional today.
Your jacket's a little more tailored than mine in the.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But
you look good.
I appreciate that. You're looking very stylish today.
I picked a fresh flower.
You did, and I like that. That's nice. See, if we had to do style votes and figure it out, I'm going to go with the man over here.
It's my George Banks right there.
You did good. You did good. I like that. I have a couple of those.
I bet you have more than a couple.
Yeah, well, we change. It just depends on how I feel that day. And which I had to your point, I had to get comfortable with that way because I started out the same way. Well, 22 years ago. I was a little younger then, and I felt I had to be in a suit and a shirt and a tie.
Right.
Because I was so young. I had to be that banker.
You got to make up for something.
Make up for something. And now, and it does come with the fact that I have done this for so long, my mindset's completely changed on who I am. Like I'm just me, right? If I want to wear a hoodie, I'm going to wear a hoodie. If I'm going to wear, this, whatever it is, I'm just going to roll in a t-shirt and blue jeans.
Just be authentic.
Right.
Don't be fake.
I also think, I think our clients, our market has also changed, right? So they become more accepting of business people not in business suits, business people that look more non-traditional from a business standpoint.
Well, what do you think? Do you think it's almost a turnoff because you're supposed to kind of mimic your client to an extent, and so if you show up in a suit but you're showing a ranch to a rancher.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they're going to look at you like, what do you know,
so
right?
The dress down is more acceptable, but it could be a negative if you're showing up all
I think
square and starchy.
I think that you always be true to you, be you, okay? But to your point, if you're going to go show a rancher a ranch, you're probably not going to show up in pink pants.
No.
Right?
I hope not.
Right? You're going to show up in what is appropriate based on your style.
Good word, appropriate.
For
there you go.
that client in showing that ranch.
Not that you're faking it, you're just appropriate for the moment.
You're appropriate for your moment and your style for whatever that is, right? It's not you're going to go all of a sudden buy a cowboy hat and a big belt buckle to impress this person. They're going to look at you like, really?
Yeah. I can tell you wear pink pants.
I can tell you.
I know you wear pink pants on the weekend.
Yeah, so it's just being appropriate, but staying true to you regardless of who it is. Because I do have clients that we'll meet, and I'll know whether or not I need to be in a sports coat, or if a hoodie's going to be okay, if it's going to be okay for that situation. But in both of those, it's me. I just don't wear suits and ties anymore.
Right.
I don't care about that. I don't care if I am going to go meet a CEO of a company. I may be in this, but I do know that if I have to go to a board meeting, because I have companies that I go meet and there's 20 people in a board meeting, okay, I can wear the suit and tie.
Yeah.
I've done it. I'm comfortable with it. I'll put it on.
Appropriate.
It's appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been doing this for 5 years. Have you started to transition into a team approach, or is it you?
It's one of those I need to do that. There's in this industry there's so many I needs. I should. I tell people writing the contract is the simplest part. It's everything around that, before that, finding the client, the systems, the metrics. It's just this. There are things that I know a lot about that I never thought or wish I knew about. Like just technology and having to really be a master of a lot of pieces because they all fit together like this to make the wheel spin.
The wheel spin, absolutely.
So I think I'm probably coming up. I'm on the cusp.
It's a painful decision because your
growth is painful,
but it's the opportunity that we all seek, that we love, because we want to go and capture it and continue to do more. And it takes a team.
Yeah, no, for sure.
To really go out there and impact. We have ceilings and floors, right, in business, and when we get to that ceiling, it's a difficult punch through, right, to get to the next floor.
Right.
But when you get to the next floor, guess what? You're on the floor, and you got a long way to go to get to that next level. And so it does take scale in technology, scale in people. Something's got to get you to that next level, or you're better off staying at the bottom floor on the ceiling, right? Because that's where you're maximizing.
And I think some people have the eye for identifying talent in others and being able to leverage them, like you've done. You have a team, and so if I don't know how to do it, or I don't want to be the master of this thing, let me find somebody who is. So rather than have to spend my time learning and becoming a guru in Facebook or Google Analytics, you say, here's a person who studied that, and that's their drive, their passion. So they're passionate about it. Why don't we connect maybe part-time and then see where it goes from there? And then, because they're doing their purpose. Yeah. And so when everyone's doing their, following their purpose, and you're all connected together, man, that's an unstoppable team.
Yeah, and it's important to, when you bring people onto your team, like, I've kind of talked a lot about this, you hire slow, fire fast, right? But in the hiring slow process, it's really on you to identify what it is as far as the particular skill set that you're hiring for. I know you are, if anybody's ever read that book, Robert Kiyosaki, Sells Dogs, right? It's an easy way for me to kind of tell people about different personalities. I use, there's disc profile, there's bank code, which JPAR is a big bank code. Client where you can determine like what your personality profile is. But like Poodle is a sales dog where they really are about image and about connecting and being on the phone and talking to people and doing deals and those kind of things. That could be you, right? But then you need to have other things like a Chihuahua, a data person around you, right? A golden retriever, a service
You need all those
animal,
things.
right? Dog around you. So you need to make sure when you hire that team, you're specifically saying, okay, this is the type of individual and the skill sets and the traits that I need because they're opposite of mine.
Right.
And it was interesting. I did this thing with my team, and I knew my colors, right? I was based on the bank code. I was like a red, blue, green, and yellow type individual. Red, blue, yellow, green. And so I wanted everybody to kind of do theirs. And what I found was everybody was like almost opposite of me, which was good because everybody does so many different roles that I had to have.
They approach it from a different way than you would. Now let me ask you this: people being opposite, it's a positive because they do it differently, but it can be a learning curve because we want people to think the way we do, or communicate in the manner that we do, and so there can be a gap. In trying to mesh with the people.
I don't mind them thinking differently than me because, like with you, there's probably very few that can live in our head to think exactly the same way we do. But the communication is a non-negotiable because communication in our industry is like the single biggest thing, right? And so what we talk about is, look, I'm going to give you scripts. We're detailed in our scripts. Everybody has the same thing that they say. They're just given the flexibility to say it in their style.
Yes.
Right? So you have to give them
Going from
that
A to B,
flexibility.
but I might take a side road when you take the freeway.
The freeway. I'm taking the freeway. You may. I'm a be brief, be
We're
bright,
getting
be
there
gone kind of guy. Right. Somebody might want to go off road a little bit, and that's fine as long as we stay within the boundaries that are set up.
Right. One of my favorite quotes is, "What cannot be talked out constructively can only be acted out destructively." So the better you are at communicating, you won't be left with that frustrated. You don't understand. I can't talk to you, or you don't know how I feel. Well, if I can get better at using language and body language and tone, and we can talk about it. But if you're limited in how you can describe or animate your emotional state or what's going on with your words, then you're left with, I can't get it out, I'm frustrated. Let me take out my frustration whatever way I choose.
And the best communicators are the greatest listeners, right?
2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen twice as much as you talk.
Yes.
And I'm a quote guy.
Okay.
I never learned anything while I was talking. So zip it.
Yep.
And good conversationalists they're just good listeners.
Well, and negotiating, right? So when you're talking to a client and you're talking to a listing agent, you're talking to the seller, however it's going to be, you're trying to get a deal done. The best thing to do is ask us some questions, shut up and listen.
Yeah.
Because they're going to tell you exactly what you need to be doing to make the deal work.
And the better your questions, the better the outcome.
That's true.
So become a skilled question asker.
Yeah, I get it. So did anybody ever talk you out of or try to say, you don't want to be a real estate agent? I mean, did you ever kind of get that when you said, hey, this is what I'm going to go do?
It's actually funny because I texted my father texted me earlier this morning and said, hey, I'd like the link, I want to watch. And when I was probably
Your
in year,
father?
yes, my father.
What's up, father?
Man, when I was in year maybe 1.5 or 2 in that struggle period of just, maybe it was earlier than that, like for the first year, just struggling. And because of the job I had before, it was a more blue collar, I guess, manual labor.
Okay.
And so now I'm wearing jackets and button ups, and it just felt awkward. And so my parents saw my struggle, my wife saw my struggle of this identity. Like I'm here and I'm transitioning to here, but I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
So which one am I? And it was a real struggle. And he said, your company and what you do, you're good at it. Everybody loves you. You should just drive into that, build it, and just rock that. And I disagreed in the fact that I knew that there was a time stamp on how long I could do that. And so in this business, you could be, with a cane and opening up the door.
Right.
Oh, what do you think? And so I'm thinking long term, but in the moment it was a struggle. And so he was kind of like, you should, stick with what you know and what you're good at. And for me, I wanted to. It was can I do this? Do I have it in me to do this thing? And so it wasn't about the money or the recognition. It was you're judged by your own principles and, I guess, expectations of yourself. And so I wanted to see, can I hit that mark? Can I do this? And so there was a lot of unknown, a lot of gray, and just fumbling around trying to find the path. But I did stick with it. And so now when me and my dad talk, he's like, you are really rocking it, and you knew something that I didn't. But I didn't necessarily know. I just knew I had to keep going because something about me, I couldn't quit, because if I quit, would I be a quitter, or would I tried it and it wasn't for me? And I didn't know which camp I was in. I tried it and it's not for me, or I'm a quitter because it was too hard. So that's why I had to keep going.
Yeah, and you also probably had to know your why, like, that why as to why you're doing it, for whom you're doing it.
Yeah, like, can I do that? It was a curiosity within myself. Can I go to another level?
Right. Yeah, because that whole thing, people stop right before they get to the diamond that they're digging for.
Yeah.
And it's because they just don't really understand why they are in this business. And it has to be, there has got to be a greater. There's a struggle. Well, it could be struggle. It could be there's something that they're truly running from, that they don't want to go back to that place anymore, right? They don't want it, and so they have this huge why that's pushing into something much bigger and better. That could be about freedom. It could be about money. It could be about impact of lives. It could be, there's a lot of things, but then you really start peeling back the onion, and you find that there's this place that they've tried to run from. A good place to run from, right? They don't want to ever go there. And so it's just trying to find that within people is interesting as I have more and more conversations and talking and listening, and why people do this, because we all have that. I have those things. I mean, why do we continue to do it after 22 years, and what's going to continue to drive us?
It's not easy
for 22
all the
years.
time.
Oh my gosh, it's not. So for you, in the mornings, I mean, people have all different types of things that get them going. Some people will wake up at 4 o'clock, 4:30, and they meditate and they pray and they work out and they do all that kind of stuff. Some will just get up and go. Some will email people. I mean, how does your morning start out? What gets you going?
Bob, I've stumbled around a lot, and 12, 14 months ago, I started having I hit my groove, because I've tried the 7 days a week, just grind, always give, go more. And I felt exhausted. I felt angry. I didn't enjoy it while I was doing it. And I've gone through a lot of I'm a wreck phases.
Yeah.
And I truly did find, for me, the vital need to have quiet time in the morning. So I work out about 7 days a week. I used to run marathons. I ran marathons and ultras.
Work out 7 days a week.
Yeah.
I mean, you do too, Brandon?
Work out 8 days a week.
I knew we connected for a reason.
Yeah.
But because working out, it's quiet time, and it's like a Xanax. It calms you down. You get the endorphins, and everything from the day before, it's cleared out, because it would accrue in me. And so I've got all these emotions and things and events that happen. They're just inside of me. Each day I swim in the morning, go to the steam room, and then I'll take maybe 30 minutes, sometimes an hour, just being quiet. My phone is off. And just my phone being off is a huge
deal, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love it when you call, though. Keep calling, baby.
Right.
But just having some space within myself to, I guess, it sounds new agey, like center myself, but just to find that peace, like get some serenity for the day, because days can be bumpy, and so you need to have something that you're anchored into, grounded
to. Yep.
And so just to clear myself, and then. Okay, let's go. So it's working out and quiet time in the morning, and I do a lot of journaling, and it's there's not a set style. It's hopes, it's fears, what I'm going through right now, or just a log of what's occurring in my life. Whatever is on my heart is what I'm writing down.
What's getting out.
There's not a format. It's just whatever's here, I'm putting it there, so I can then go. It's like clean it out each time. So that's what I do.
And these are things that you do pretty much every morning?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
And my kids or my wife, hey, can you stay home from the gym, or do you have to go? And they know at this point it's basically a requirement that I go.
Because you got to keep your head right.
I do, but
Yeah,
but some mornings, I've gotten up and I'm heading to the gym in my car. I get to the end of my street and I hear a voice or a feeling inside that says, you need to go back home.
Yeah.
And just be there with the family and just be quiet. So I'll go back home. I'll just turn around, go home, sit there by the fire, and the kids get up and they're, oh, you're home. I am.
Yep,
And so learning to listen to the voice versus just the program.
Sure.
Giving some flexibility. There.
Yeah.
Right. And it's been very beneficial. Like if you will tune into that thing, it will lead you where you need to be.
So wife and 2 kids?
3.
3 kids.
Yeah.
So how long have you been married?
12 years.
12 years.
Yeah, and it's.
That's a fact check. You'll have to let me know if he's missing that one.
No, it's true. After a decade, for me, it really started getting very sweet.
Yeah.
Just for a lot of different reasons. But
Yeah.
my wife is a genius,
Uh-huh.
and she's beautiful. She does acting. She was on the first season of MasterChef with Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, really?
Google that.
Wow.
Jenna Hamiter.
Fact check on that one. That's pretty good.
But just having somebody who you've been through things with, like you and your
Absolutely.
wife.
Man, we've been together, been married 22 years, been in business together for 22
And
years.
I was talking with her, and you guys have been through some
my
cycles.
Gosh. Absolutely.
But
Personally and professionally. I mean, it happens.
Sticking together through it, it
Yes.
gives you a certain just appreciation for that person, like
Yeah.
for better or worse. And that truly is, it's the worst right now, and now it's better. But it doesn't always have to be happy and a feeling. It's me and you.
Uh-huh.
And
You always
that-
got somebody that's got your back.
That is
Yep.
just so sweet and beautiful.
Wow.
It's
Good for you, man. That's
I'm a
12
late
years.
bloomer, I'm finally starting to mature. But
So 28, 30, what
come on, Bob. I turned 36 about a week ago.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Nice.
But I shaved my beard down, so my kids say I look 6 years younger.
How old are kids?
They are 14, coming up on 12, and 10. My little boys.
14, 12, and 10. So give me 14 is a
Daughter, son.
daughter, 14, 12, and 10.
Yeah. They're awesome.
Wow. So any sports?
No.
What are they into? I mean,
they have a lot of activities.
Okay.
We've kind of sports. It's not really our thing.
Sure.
My kids have all been playing piano for 8
nice.
years or more.
Okay.
My daughter Josephine is, somewhat of a prodigy. She can write music, but there's a Suzuki method. I believe there's 7 books, and it's a classically trained program. She's now in book 4, and she's not yet 12. And her teacher is a very like, do it again, do it again, and you're just like crying, like, and
Oh, no.
it would make me uncomfortable at some of their lessons because she's so.
Right.
But they appreciate it once they see the benefit or the reason why. But they all play. My oldest daughter Isabella, she's talented at the piano. She's also a very good writer.
Okay.
She will probably be a writer.
So writing music or write
stories.
Stories.
Yes, fiction.
Oh, wow.
And she's very advanced in her verbal skills.
Uh-huh.
She takes after her mother. I look like a Neanderthal compared to my wife or daughters. Just a knuckle dragging, guy with a checkbook. I don't know.
That's awesome.
But the opposites, and leveraging that and being grateful for it.
So what's one thing that people, regardless of my camera or my cameras or yours, that they wouldn't know about you? Give me a fun fact that somebody would have to really dig up to figure out that this is what you do, or this is who you are, or what you like, or.
I'm a pretty open book.
Okay, I know, but this is the fun part.
I used to say, I still say, my shallow waters run really deep. I'm like I said, I'm a late bloomer. I'm discovering things about my personality and myself that were never there before.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's just because I'm learning more about life and growing. And so I don't know. I'm taking more of a poetic slant on how I write in my journal, or emails to my wife. And that comes back to books that I read. I'm a big Frank Lloyd Wright fan, so I've been reading biography after biography about him.
Yep.
And I don't know. I guess I'm a softie, maybe a little overly sensitive. It's not necessarily that I want your approval, but I want there to be peace everywhere that I go. And so,
Love.
And so by peace, it's, are you doing okay? Are you happy?
Mm-hmm.
And when I have to tell somebody something I know they don't want to hear, that's my worst nightmare.
Okay.
You know, like a correction of your performance, or this is what I see in you. Because I just want to say, Bob, you're the man, and I love you, and I love you, baby. But if I have to say, Bob, I'm seeing that you're weak right here, you're failing,
right.
This is going to be a problem, and that's the last thing you want to hear from me. It's difficult.
It's difficult for you.
It is, but I've learned the sooner I just do it and not obsessive avoidance, like don't obsessively avoid it, do it, and true friends will take that risk.
Absolutely.
True love will take that risk.
Absolutely.
Because I love you, it's not about you liking me, it's about me seeing what is truly best for you.
Right, and being honest with that.
It's hard, man.
Right.
Man, it's hard. Because you're probably going to get, stabbed verbally by that person, and being able to take that and say that's just their reaction, not them. And sometimes people attack the person, like maybe you're attacking me versus what they're really doing is attacking the thing that I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so being able to kind of differentiate those pieces and learn how to categorize things. And really a lot of people, if they're having a bad day or they're nasty or mean, it's something that they're dealing with. It's something they're going through, maybe a health issue, their marriage is, on the rocks. And so if they're, snappy with me, I just let it roll off my back, like a duck in water, and try to see that everybody has a bad day.
Sure.
And it's not me. Because if I haven't actually done anything wrong, negligent, or been nasty, then it's not me.
Not
and
you.
I can take peace in that. And you can too. But that's part of being a professional is, okay, I'll just take it. Versus now let's combat. Let's argue,
Yeah, nothing will ever be won in an argument in business. There's always going to be.
It's just going to, the gap will widen.
Yeah, I mean, somebody may get the deal and somebody's going to lose the deal, but it's not really, I mean, that's the battle, it's not the overall war. So
Right.
you got to really be good at understanding the give and take in business, in conversation, in negotiation, because ultimately I think for us, it's about making sure everybody else wins. Right.
I look for win-wins.
Yeah,
Not dominate, win-lose.
Yeah, I mean, in a
It
win-lose,
feels much better.
It does, and that's what the feeling is. What we really are all about, because in our world, it is real estate and mortgage, but it's really feel and experience. The better we can make people feel about the experience they're going through, then that means we all do win, and ultimately that makes our industry win. That makes more people utilizing local expertise, local market experts, those types of things, so that we can continue to move our local markets forward. So tell me, now let's kind of transition to some real estate stuff, because I have a pretty good idea who you are, right?
Pink pants.
Pink pants, open book, lovey-feely.
I love you, Bob.
How does that help transition you into working with buyers and sellers? I mean, how do you connect with those people? How do you find them, help them, make the decisions to use you? I mean, just kind of walk me through what that looks like for Wes.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So, talking about when I started out, mimicking different people and their styles. Some people have a very good listing presentation and documents, and there's so many different flavors on the board. One's not right or wrong, it's just which flavor is best for you. I like cookies and cream. Some people like Rocky Road. I'm not a big nuts guy in my ice cream. So for me, it was taking a very monumental decision of selling or buying. There can be a lot of fears, anxiety, apprehension, preconceived notions, whatever.
Right.
There's all this is serious, we're talking to a realtor, oh my God. And just bringing it down and just being very relaxed and nonchalant about it. Not in a, this isn't serious, but setting the tone. And so I discovered that, in the last year and a half, and it makes everybody at ease, and they actually then truly start speaking with you, telling you what their fears are, concerns, or whatever it may be. But you have to let people know, or they have to understand or feel that it's okay to be honest.
How quickly can you break down that barrier?
Right.
There's no matter what industry, guys, it doesn't matter what you sell, what you're communicating, what your service is, there's always going to be a barrier up. And so the great people will know how to quickly bring down the barrier and get on the same side of the table with your client, that potential
and feel
client.
what they feel.
Exactly, versus being on the opposite side, right? Because that's a negotiating position and the barrier is in between, right? The quicker you get around it, get on the same side, the better you have then, right, to help.
Right.
Not sell, but help.
I'm a big quote guy, you know that, and so everybody likes to buy, nobody wants to be sold.
Yep.
And so, and I think the quickest way for me to get there is by being honest and open and vulnerable myself. And so if you share something or you kind of let up the armor and they go, okay, I can let up my armor too. And, but there is risk and it can be scary. You know, if I'm this honest or open with this person, is it going to blow up in my face? If it does, which it normally never does.
Then it wasn't the right client.
It's
right. It wasn't the right opportunity.
But at least
to
you're
help.
being honest.
Sure.
And,
absolutely.
And so
that takes risks though, because more people are focused on the outcome, and so they're trying to manipulate
all
the
results
process
and the appearance.
Right. They're trying to manipulate the process so they get to that outcome,
right.
but they're not true to their process,
right.
regardless of the decision or the outcome.
And you tell me this, Bob. Is it just me, or do you really respect somebody when you're talking with them and you're looking for a service or product from them, and they go, well, based on what you've told me, I'm not the best fit for you. You need to go with somebody else. Even though they would love to make the sale, if they're truly not the fit and they send you to somebody else, your respect for them goes through the roof.
Absolutely.
Because
I've gotten more deals from a no than a yes.
Right.
Right. I will tell a client, you know, hey, what, that is not my specialty. However, here's the person I'm going to recommend to you, and this is the reason why.
Exactly.
And that person doesn't get the referrals. I still get the referrals. Right. And it's like, okay, a no sometimes is a great yes, because you're listening and you're not selling, and then you're just trying to help them.
It's not about me, it is about you. And they can
agree.
see that you could have either gone this way or this way, and they may have gone with you and you got the sale, but they can see that he made this choice when he could have gone this way and I would have gone with him, but because of what's best for me, he went this way. And so you start to get that identity of, I know about myself. I truly am looking out for the person and passionate about you, because it's not about the deal, it's about your life.
Okay.
I'm playing in a chapter of your life storybook.
Right.
And so the mark that I leave in that book, I want it to be, man, that was awesome. And for there to be joy and happiness, and for them to be happy that they made the decision that they did. I don't want anyone to ever look back and say, yeah, you know, we shouldn't have, you know, that was a bad deal.
You know what I love about what you're saying and how you do it and your approach to this is all we hear, and we hear all this talk about disruption in our space and how technology is going to be coming in and having people buy and sell homes just by pushing of a button.
We're doing it with cars.
Right. But what you've done is you've brought that human element so far to the forefront of decision making that you don't get that with technology. You don't get that with a click of a button. And so you're bringing yourself to that point, being very vulnerable, allowing the people to see who you are, and making decisions based on you, and not that it's not about knowledge or about expertise or about anything like that.
You got to have all that.
You got to bring that. You got to bring that. But first, you got to connect with them. You got to let them know who you are.
You are my man.
You got to let them know who you are, right? I mean, that is a skill, and so, I mean, it is.
It's a skill, but it's also a truth about you as well. But you sharpen it.
Yeah.
We're right there for sure.
So what's gonna? I mean, what is the next? I mean, because it's hard to say what's the next 20 years look like for you. But I mean, what's the next 3-5 years look like for Wes in business and what you want to accomplish? I mean, where are you headed?
The plan is there is no plan. No, I'm kidding. For me, like I'd said, lens or live audience, speaking. I don't want to say coaching. Maybe like a consulting firm where you're talking with Fortune 500 companies about how to collaborate with teamwork and seeing the other side, hearing, just getting synergy, and teaching skills and ways to promote that, because when we are working together hand in hand, we're going to be much better off than your department, my department. We're battling. That's win-lose.
Sure.
And so probably speaking, nationally and then internationally, being an author, I'm kind of already in the rough stages of, book writing. It's very rough, but like I said, I journal a lot and my shallow waters are growing deeper. And so I just know that when I've read certain books, they've nailed something to me.
Yeah.
And went,
Oh, yeah,
click.
absolutely. Yep.
And the Go-Givers is one of them.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a mortgage lender with Fairway about a decade ago when I was running my other company. She was just one of those people where whatever she was doing, she would always stop, turn her phone off, and say, "How are you doing?
Yep.
What's going on?" And you just go, "Man, I feel like the president, like you are giving me all the attention in the world."
Absolutely.
And she kept a stack of them. She said, "Here, I think this would be a good book for you."
Mm-hmm.
And I've become one of those people where I will give out books
Yep,
for
yep.
certain people, because if they are on a path of growth and then they read it, you can see that light bulb get clicked on and
Yep.
their life improves. And that's the best feeling in the world, is seeing them go, "I can, and I think I will."
Yep.
And going like that. That's just,
Yeah.
so probably
no.
writing and speaking, I would say.
Writing and speaking?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's a big deal right there. I mean, you're talking about, because you journal, being able to get all that out, right? How you can use that in the speaking career to help others, right? I think about that in my life and what I do and how I'm going to do things. The same thing. I mean, if you have the skill of writing, that's
I
pretty
wouldn't say that I
powerful.
have that skill. That would be my wife's skill. So she would obviously be my chief editor. But just being authentic about my journey and the struggles, and then writing that, and then somebody else can relate. And here's maybe some things that I did to go further.
I think that's the biggest skill set and the biggest value a speaker can bring to their audience.
It's just a one-sided conversation. That's
Is
all
their
it is.
journey.
You're just talking.
It's their journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's what their story is about and how they had to go through a lot of different things to get to where they are and what they're still going through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't like listening to speakers that say, "Oh, I went through this and now I'm at the top. Oh, great, I'm at the top."
Well,
That's awesome.
we love people's success, but we connect to them in their struggle.
Absolutely.
The comeback story, and that's when the humanity, and we really connect with that person, saying, even though they're up here, whatever their image may be, they're human, and they have all the same pieces that I do, that I'm dealing with right now. And we're all people at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what car you drive, not how nice of a house you have. You struggle or think or dream about the same things that I do. And remembering that has allowed me to connect with people. No matter the package that they come in, I know that you got a couple of components that we all do, and I can go, bam, and they're opened up. And
Yeah.
that's awesome, especially somebody who's very closed. And you know that you've breached the wall.
Sure.
And it's good. You know, you get so much out of it, but they benefit because they have that connection. And just being real with people, and, you know, simpatico, it's when you walk away from a good coffee time with a friend, you felt really good and uplifted about it. And that's being in this industry. I get to have that all the time, and I get to make friends all the time. Man,
Yeah.
we love you. It was so fun, and we have a fun time. We're buddies, you know.
So if it was up to you to kind of give advice to real estate agents that are coming in the business, or the ones that are already existing, salespeople out there that are in other industries, what would be a couple of things that you would say are, like, for you to help them, non-negotiables to be better at what they do?
You can't control the outcome.
I love it.
Don't even try, because if you do, like me, you will be very angry and just a lot of negative feelings, because if it doesn't go this way, now I'm mad.
Yeah.
Be in the moment and see the person. Don't see a sale. Don't see a number. You're getting to put an imprint in that person's life, and you want it to be a positive one, and for them to look back and say, that was one of the best experiences we had. Maybe they used somebody else or multiple other people because of whatever reason, but they look back and go, that was awesome. So don't see the sale, see the person, and don't compare yourself to other people. I mean,
I like that.
That's what our industry is. Hey, what are you doing? How much did you sell? What are you driving? And it gets old. It really does. Break your own records. Like, what is my bar, and can I meet that? Can I exceed that? Don't compete with somebody else. Compete with yourself. And if your top is here, but somebody else's top is here, that's okay. And just because somebody is on a path and they're here and you're here, that doesn't mean they're better or less than. They just started before you did, or they learned some things that got them further along. But you're not better or worse than I am. We're all the same. you just took a different path sooner than I did. So don't compare, because that's the surest way to be depressed and unhappy all the time.
Dude, guys, that was some amazing knowledge that he just dropped right there. I mean, I think it will, you're 100% right, and it just will make you a better person.
It's not
forget about the better salesperson. It's just, it'll make you a better person at the end of the day.
So 2 more quotes. One of them is, work harder on yourself than you do on your job.
Yep.
Jim Rohn. And then Sheryl Crow, it's not getting what you want, it's wanting what you got. So
you're a big quote person.
You can have aspirations and I want to go there, but while going there, have gratitude and value what you have right now. Don't say I'll be happy when.
You know, it's interesting. It's for me, I would put it more like golf. I see it this way, and it may exist that way or not. I'm not a professional golfer, but the way I look at it is I see these players and they're all rooting for everybody else to be successful. They want them to be successful, but they just want to go out and beat the course, right? They can't control whether they're going to be ahead of one person or another. Their job is to only beat the course, not bring down or beat the player. Right? So it's like, I want you to be successful, but I'm going to win at my game.
Yeah.
Right? And that's all I'm going to control is my game.
If everyone else is successful and you're helping them, you're going to be a success.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Zig Ziglar, help others get what they want, and you'll get what you want. It's what goes around comes around. But you can't be doing it in a self-motivated way. I'm going to help you get something, and then I'll get it.
Yeah.
It truly has to be authentic and honest, because if it's not, the magic is removed. And now you're just manipulative.
Wes, dude, this has been a freaking rocking show, man. I mean,
You say that to everybody, Bob.
No. I mean, I did less talking in most of the time, so this is actually really good. Nobody wants to hear from me.
I felt like I've been carrying the weight this whole time.
Oh, you have, man. It's the pink pants. I mean, it just shifts. But no, I really do appreciate it. I mean, this has been, guys, I know you guys got a lot out of this. Hopefully I didn't suck, so I know he did a really great job.
You made me look good.
No, follow him, follow Wes, go check him out. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff that he's talking about. How do they find you? So give me a phone number, give me a Facebook page, IG. How do they get a hold of you?
Just search my name, Wes Hamiter. You might find Special Agent Wes Hamiter somewhere on the web, but I'm pretty easily found. Wes Hamiter. Find me, connect with me. I'm a big phone call, text guy. People are like, hey, I wrote you an email. My email box is a dirty place. Like, you don't want to go there. If you want to connect, call me or text me. Yeah, and boom.
Throw that out there. What's the digits?
Well, it's 972-467-8411.
Awesome.
And I want to do that. 972 get sold. I want to do like a phone number like that, but I'm not there yet.
So. You're not there yet?
972-467-8411.
Awesome, buddy. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, man. It really has. Guys, thank you so much for listening and lending us your eyes and ears today. Hope you have an awesome day, and most importantly, go make somebody else's day even better. Take care.
Bye-bye.